So I've been keeping it in the background of NXT, and it's not obvious that it's gotten way much worse, especially when you realize that Triple H is also in charge as well. With the sudden reemerge of always matches all the time, no real storytelling being out of nowhere, not really any characters being made. It's almost like the demolition dummies are back. Like I said, I enjoyed NXT before 2.0 because it still at least had characters, with a character development under wraps, and it still had some good, it was still providing some good entertainment as well. I didn't even know that Carmelo had a match with Solo this week. So this pretty much came out of nowhere for me, and overall. But yeah, Solo Sikoa is now the North American champion, and it seems like they're rolling the ball. Seems like Triple H is rolling the ball with him and going into the future. There was also a monologue I noticed of Shawn Michaels talking about going into the future and acknowledging the NXT of the past. And they showed the whole NXT 2.0 logo going into white and gold now. I didn't even watch it. I wasn't even watching NXT because as I already knew, like I said before, also, as I already knew that it was going to get way worse and everything about it was going to suck. Not that I'm making a case for Vince McMahon and that his when it comes to his because anything under him, regardless, was a detriment, and it was pretty much he didn't. There was singly no, everything around him was pretty much crumbling. I'm not making a case as if whatever you want to call, like if one of his his yes men or him himself. It's not like his version of NXT was any good either. I'm just saying, like, NXT 2.0. I didn't like the color logo. I like the new color change, and I'm not saying that I don't like it. I'm just saying, like, the shocking, disturbing reality that we're about to witness come into fold. And I saw it all over, blowing up all over Twitter, of course. I saw all the indie, dummy geeks all over Twitter, grabbing their nuts and coming in the air and talk like, yeah, NXT, we're like, yeah, we can be gay, yeah, sorry, no, NXT evolved, pretty much talk about NXT. Yeah, it's basically NXT Black and Gold is back, that whole dead and buried, the worst wrestling TV that has ever been on television. WWE's been pretty terrible in general, but that's probably the in recent memory. But yeah, that's pretty much. There's a conclusion that Black and Gold might be coming back, and I've also I've also heard that Triple H. I think we've talked about it before. That it's not like he was in content with the new NXT going forward, like NXT 2.0 when that first started, when Vince McMahon was basically tearing up his baby. Yeah, it's like because he said it himself also. I mean, he has to. He was a yes man at the time, but probably still, most likely still is. But yeah, he pretty much had to because, of course, he was worked for Vince, and he said that, not that he was, but it still pretty much said that, yeah, he was still behind NXT 2.0, regardless if he wasn't or is. But he said that also. But regardless if we can take that or not, yeah, he pretty much wasn't. But but still, I still stand behind it at NXT 2.0. It was still very much underrated. It was like I said, not that it was all around good. It wasn't better. It pretty much was better than the Black and Gold, but in terms of not being solely just greater or much an improvement, it's still, like I said, it still had characters and good entertainment there and there, and it was like, yeah, you at least saw something starting to pick up, and it was it still was decent, but Yeah, it's not like it was not. That's what I'm not saying. It's not like it was a thing. It's not like it was that really great at all, or the best of wrestling television at all. Because yeah, it still had its flaws, his mistakes, and pretty much it was dull. So not that much different from WWE in general. But like I said, it was pretty much. I would rather watch that than Black and Gold because they had characters, they had personalities. It felt completely alive, and then felt like every time you watched it, it didn't feel like a cemetery or just pretty much emo kids that that don't get any notice or attention, that they've been kept in the back, and yeah, like that. Like I said, I still somewhat enjoyed NXT 2.0 because it still had some type of it still had flavor to it. But yeah, as you pretty much, I mean, y'all could say because I've even heard the hardcore, NXT, the indie mark demolition nerds. I even heard them say that the indie geeks, the groupies, talk about that it might not even be back. Of course, talks going around, but that Black and Gold might not even be coming back. I don't know. We might not even know that it might not even wind up about coming back, but it pretty much still paints a picture going into the future of that. It's still like a new revamp, but it's still like a tribute to the Black and Gold. And but yeah, so I mean, it's still because with the re-inclusion of NXT UK, it just might be obviously a new version. But like I said, and I've talked about this done to death already about the Black and Gold era and about how terrible, useless, and nobody wanted to see it. I've talked about this already, and it was just me. It'll be more of the same. NXT, whether you want white or gold, purple and gold, vomit, baby, doo doo, like whatever they want to include it to it. It's still NXT or whichever. Anything under Triple H is gonna fail because he's obsessed with the indie. He's obsessed with the demolition indie daredevil marks. He's the midgets of wrestling. That's what he's obsessed with. This whole culture of just a small minority that nobody cares for, and it's gonna show. And it's just like it doesn't matter whatever they want to call NXT now. It's like any version under NXT any NXT under Triple H, it's gonna fail, and nobody's gonna watch it, and it's gonna get much worse, and it's probably gonna have to taken off. I don't know. It's like it's probably most likely not gonna be taken off there. It's probably still gonna have its around, but even the geeks, even the ones that suck off Triple H, people are going to get bored of whether you want to say it or not. It's probably going to be cool for a while, but people are going to get bored, and it's going to go back to being the most like people are not going to care about it or give a care in the world for it. Like I said, it doesn't matter whichever NXT under Triple H. It's going to be the most single piece of boring wrestling television on earth. And nobody is going to tune in to see what happens. But yeah, I think the new version, this NXT, is pretty much going to be a version. I don't know, probably it might just be. But going forward, hopefully not. I'd like to say not, but it pretty much, NXT Black and Gold or White and Gold. NXT White and Gold is pretty much almost here, and they're probably going to start to go into it next week. But yeah, I don't know what else I could really strip it to and put it in the garbage. I don't even know what else I could really tear apart of it, other than the fact that it's this new version, whatever they want to call it, it's still gonna be the worst. Under Triple H, it's still gonna fail, and nobody is gonna hear of his death when it finally goes under. But I don't know whether, regardless or not, it's pretty much probably still gonna stay on TV. It'll just be not what they expect of it to go, But it's the reason why NXT UK. It's like they're just them trying, unless it has everybody what else can get, unless it, because what everybody really truly wants, unless it has character, unless it has something that people can go back to get into. Nobody wants to see long hours. That gets boring. Nobody wants to see that. So unless this new version of NXT really propels it, which I'm pretty sure is going to be the same thing, and Triple H is going to try to bring back, his fags of Neverwhere, and he's going to try to bring that back. Like I said, it's not going to happen, and people are going to tune out, and it's going to get, NXT is going to, disappear into. Yeah, it's going to go completely off the rails, and nobody's going to really care about it to begin with. So, I said, whatever version, the NXT under Triple H, it's going to fail. And I have no idea why, but, unless it has characters and story, nobody's going to really care for it. So, and that's pretty much, all that I had to say, or was, waiting to talk about. Yeah, it's just, that's pretty much, yeah, whatever, this version, the brand of NXT under Triple H, or whether he's trying to go back to the days of it back again, failing, of it tanking, of it, people just discarding it into, lava. It's not, like I said, unless it's entertaining, unless it has something that it can garner a new audience. Yeah, unless it's good, then nobody's gonna really care for it. But yeah. But we'll probably see in the future. But it's pretty much what of him trying to bring NXT back. But yeah, we'll definitely see. But yeah, NXT is gonna fail. So whatever new version or the old version, it's gonna anything under Triple H, it's gonna fail, and we're gonna see it. Probably in the weeks to come. It's gonna take a while. Like I said, it's gonna be a while, but people are, even before, it's gonna get. It's probably going to get way even more boring and tedious before. But so, yeah. I probably talked longer than I should have, but I'll see y'all pretty much out later. And it's a sad reality, but NXT White and Gold, or Black and Gold, I'll just call it, NXT White and Gold, it may be back. And that's what we have to deal with now.